when you had mentioned Denton Hill, I drove by there on Friday, and I'm just curious. I went to an event, and I actually had a guy ask me, so what's going on with Denton Hill? And when you mentioned that, it triggered that memory, and I just was curious if you could give us a brief update on where we're at there. It just seems like it's kind of sitting there, nothing's really happening. Yeah. And are there other facilities just like that? I mean, we could really use those for revenue here for DCNR.
Answer your question. There are a lot of facilities sitting around in need of a little bit of love, but we see Denton as very important. Its placement along Route 6 and Pennsylvania Wilds really positions it to be helpful to people traveling. We're getting a lot of tourists, as you know, from New York and New Jersey. It's really generating a lot of income up in Pennsylvania Wilds. It's a wonderful place. Come through Wellsboro. It's a good gateway. And then between the Lumber Museum and Denton Hill, we see that as like a recreational hub. It'll have to be 4 seasons to be viable, given the kind of future we have without regular snow cover. So that's going to be critical. We've developed an RFP to find a vendor that will kind of co-invest on the snow side. I know there's been a lot of local interest in keeping skiing, obviously, as part of that. That's its history. But we're looking for a vendor and a co-investor on that side of it.
Are there any leads on that at all?
I think so. Don, any?
So we have looked across the nation trying to find folks that have experience in dealing with smaller ski facilities, and we do have some folks that are interested. I think the trend that we're seeing is that some of the larger ski facilities out west are actually buying smaller facilities in the east and doing a season pass for their lands. So hopefully we can get some more interest in Ski Denton.
And if we can't, I hope we get a ski operator. I mean, one way or another, that's an important site. We do want to stay committed to that site and also to Pennsylvania Wilds infrastructure improvement. The other big thing up there, trying to connect the Pine Creek Gorge into Wellsboro, I think you really can't overstate the economic value of connecting a big trail into a community. There's nothing like it. I mean, we've seen it in the Great Allegheny Passage. We see it on the Delaware Lehigh and the Schuylkill River. When you invest in these big trail systems and they connect into a community, the economic return, and it's not just on tourism and spending, it's on quality of life and people choosing to live there. So we see the county commissioners up there are supportive. We'll have to we're continuing to find the money to put that together, but we'll continue to search for that.
Yeah, that would be a great economic driver for our county.
It really would be.
Another one that I wanted to bounce off of what Representative Gobbler talked about, the ATV trails. We've talked a little bit about that. What kind of economic impact would that have? It seems like, I mean, everybody I talk to, they're like, man, we would love to not go to West Virginia and stay in Pennsylvania and ride our ATVs, especially connecting the Pine Creek Gorge, Colton Point to Potter County and all the way over to Ski Denton. There seems like there's a lot of possibilities to Lyman Run.
Right.
What kind of economic impact are you seeing? I know you reached out for some feedback on that.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of good information. We've looked at New Hampshire. We're looking at the Hampton McCoy in West Virginia, looking at a park in Maryland. But I think one of the opportunities we're looking at right now is like from Renovo, north to the Bloody Skillet, and then connecting north up to that network up in Susquehannock State Forest and along Route 6. And we were able to close a few connectors and solve a few issues up there. I think that's one of the earlier opportunities we'll see. That'll do a lot for Renovo, we think.
Yeah. Well, if there's any pilot programs that you need, we'd love to be involved in that and to see that economic impact, especially with cabins. People like to rent our cabins, rent your cabins, and utilize their ATVs. So I appreciate all the work that we can do.
And we see this as an opportunity for the private sector side, too. I mean, I think, up there along Route 6 is a private campground, really caters to ATVs. And the whole point of this is to create local economic opportunity around the recreational assets that the public owns.